You just lost 3 spins in a row. The machine lights up. Music plays. You won back 15% of what you spent. And without thinking, you hit spin again. That reaction was not random. That was designed. Have you ever felt that urge right after a small win? Comment yes or no right now. Most people don't realize they've been triggered. I've spent years studying casino floor psychology, machine programming documentation, and testimonies from system designers who built these experiences. What I'm about to show you isn't theory, it's engineering, and it's been running silently in every casino for decades. Most players believe slot machines are pure chance, random number generators, fair spins, equal probability. That's partially true. But what they don't tell you is this: the randomness is real. The reaction you have to that randomness is not. Casinos don't control the spin. They control what happens immediately after, and that's where the trap closes. You walk into a casino thinking you're playing a game of luck. You're not. You're inside a behavioral laboratory. Every sound, every color, every delay between spins, every animation on the screen, it's all calculated, tested, optimized, not for fairness, for one thing: keeping you in the chair. The average slot player doesn't stand a chance, not because the game is rigged in the traditional sense, but because the game is designed around human weakness. Your brain has predictable patterns, predictable responses, predictable vulnerabilities, and slot machines are built specifically to exploit every single one of them. Think about the last time you played. How long did you plan to stay? 30 minutes? An hour? How long did you actually stay? Most people can't answer that accurately because time distortion is part of the design. You lose track, you lose awareness, and you lose money, all while feeling like you're in control. Let me show you how this works. You spin. 2 sevens line up. The third one stops just above the pay line. So close. You almost won. That feeling you get, that frustration mixed with hope, that's called a near miss. And your brain treats it almost identically to an actual win. Neuroscience research confirms this. Near misses activate the same reward pathways in your brain as real wins. Your dopamine spikes, you feel motivated, excited. The machine didn't pay you, but your brain acts like it did. So what do? You spin again, because it felt like you were close. But here's the truth. That near miss was not close. It was a loss, programmed to look like progress. Slot designers know exactly how often to show you these near misses. Too many and you catch on. Too few and you lose interest. The sweet spot? Just enough to keep you believing the big win is one more spin away. It never is, but the illusion keeps you feeding the machine. Here's what makes this even more manipulative. The reels are weighted. Certain symbols appear more frequently near the pay line than others. High-value symbols show up just above or just below the winning position more often than random chance would allow. This creates the visual illusion of almost winning, but mathematically, you were never close. The machine is showing you a movie, and you're reacting exactly how they predicted. Studies on gambling behavior show that players increase their bet size after near misses. They bet faster, they stay longer, all because their brain interpreted a programmed loss as proof they're getting warmer. You're not getting warmer, you're getting played. Now let's talk about wins that aren't really wins. You bet $5, you win $3 back. The machine explodes with lights, trumpets play, coins flash on the screen. Congratulations, you just lost $2. But it doesn't feel that way, does it? This is called a loss disguised as a win, and it's one of the most effective psychological triggers in the entire casino industry. The machine celebrates your loss. It rewards you emotionally for losing money, and your brain doesn't calculate math in that moment. It hears the sounds, sees the lights, feels the dopamine, and it registers victory. So you stay, you spin again, because winning feels good, even when you're losing. This is not an accident. Every sound file, every animation sequence, every visual cue is designed to create this exact emotional confusion. You think you're winning, the casino knows you're paying. Research shows that these losses disguised as wins occur in nearly 40% of all spins on modern slot machines. 40%. That means 4 out of every 10 spins are giving you a dopamine hit for losing money. Your brain is being chemically rewarded for handing over cash, and after enough repetitions, you become conditioned. The sound of the celebration becomes associated with pleasure, not profit. Pleasure, even when your wallet is emptying. The genius of this design is that it bypasses your logical mind entirely. You might consciously know you're down money, but emotionally, you feel like you're winning. And in that conflict, emotion wins every single time. This is why players stay at machines long after they've lost their budget, because the emotional scoreboard says they're doing fine. The financial scoreboard tells a different story, but you're not looking at that one. Here's where it gets darker. You finally hit a real win, maybe $50, maybe $200. The machine pays out, lights flash, music plays, you feel great. And then something happens. A quiet psychological shift. You don't want to leave. You want to play one more time, just one more spin, because you're hot, you're on a streak, the machine is loose. None of that is real, but the feeling is. This is called post-win momentum bias. After a win, your confidence spikes. Your perception of probability becomes distorted. You believe you're more likely to win again. Statistically, nothing has changed. The machine doesn't care that you just won, but you do. And that emotional high makes you reckless. Casinos engineered this moment carefully. The payout isn't just about giving you money, it's about giving you enough emotional fuel to keep playing, because they know something you don't in that moment. Most players give back their winnings within 30 minutes. The win wasn't your reward, it was bait. Let me explain the math behind this. Slot machines are programmed with variance. Some sessions you win early. That's intentional. It hooks you. It makes you believe the machine is paying, so you keep going. You increase your bets, you play faster. And over the next hour, the machine takes it all back, plus more. This pattern is so reliable that casinos calculate it into their revenue models. They expect you to win, they expect you to stay, and they expect you to lose it all back. The early win isn't a mistake. It's part of the system, and the psychological effect it has on you is the entire point. You go from cautious to confident, from disciplined to reckless, from smart to emotional, all because of one win that felt significant but was statistically meaningless. Some machines let you stop the reels manually. You press a button, the spin stops. You feel like you influenced the outcome. You didn't. The result was determined the microsecond you hit spin. Stopping the reels early is cosmetic, a placebo, but it works. Players who believe they have control bet more. They play longer. They convince themselves skill is involved. It's not. But the illusion is powerful enough to override logic. You feel active, engaged, part of the process. In reality, you're watching a predetermined animation play out, but your brain doesn't process it that way. It processes involvement, ownership, hope. This is why some machines give you choices. Pick a box, choose a multiplier, spin a bonus wheel. None of it changes the math, but all of it changes your perception. You stop thinking of yourself as a passive observer. You start thinking of yourself as a participant. And participants don't walk away. They keep trying. The psychology behind this goes deep. Humans hate feeling powerless. We crave agency, control, the ability to influence outcomes. Slot machines exploit this need ruthlessly. They give you buttons to press, choices to make, moments where you feel involved. But it's theater. Every outcome was decided by the random number generator before you ever touched a button. Here's the disturbing part. Even when players are told this directly, even when they understand intellectually that their choices don't matter, the illusion still works. Because the feeling of control is more powerful than the knowledge of helplessness. Your emotions override your logic, and the machine keeps spinning. Modern slot machines allow up to 20 spins per minute. That's not a coincidence. Speed kills awareness. When you're spinning fast, you're not calculating losses. You're not tracking time. You're in a trance state. Psychologists call it the machine zone, a flow state where your sense of self dissolves and the only thing that exists is the next spin. Casinos want you in that zone because when you're there, you don't think, you don't pause, you don't evaluate. You react. Spin, result. Spin, result. Spin. The faster the cycle, the less time you have to process what's happening. And before you know it, 2 hours have passed. Your money is gone, but you barely remember the individual spins. It all blurs together. This is why casinos removed physical handles, why everything is button-based now, why auto-spin exists. Friction slows you down. Friction gives you time to think. They don't want that. They want speed, momentum, unconscious repetition. Because conscious players leave, unconscious players stay until they're empty. The machine zone is a documented psychological state. Researchers describe it as a dissociative condition where players lose awareness of their surroundings, their finances, and even their physical needs. Hunger disappears. Fatigue disappears. Rational thought disappears. All that remains is the loop. Spin, watch, react, repeat. Casinos maximize this effect through environmental design. No clocks, no windows, no natural light, nothing to anchor you to external reality. The machine becomes your entire world, and in that world, the only thing that matters is the next spin. Not your mortgage, not your family, not your responsibilities, just the spin. This state is so powerful that some players report losing entire days without realizing it. They sit down at noon, they look up and it's midnight. 12 hours gone, thousands of dollars gone, and they can't even remember most of it because they weren't present. They were in the zone, and the zone is where casinos make their money. Which of these 5 points have you personally experienced? Type the number in the comments, 1 through 5. Most people have experienced all of them without realizing it. Let's go deeper. Why does this work so well? Why do intelligent people fall into these traps even when they know better? Because casinos aren't targeting your logic, they're targeting your limbic system, the ancient part of your brain that runs on emotion, impulse, and reward-seeking behavior. When you sit at a slot machine, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational decision-making, starts to shut down. The sensory overload, the flashing lights, the repetitive sounds, it all creates a hypnotic effect. Your brain shifts from thinking mode to feeling mode, and in feeling mode, you're vulnerable. Every element of the casino environment is designed to accelerate this shift. The lack of windows, the absence of clocks, the ambient oxygen pumped into the air, the carpets designed to reduce fatigue, even the layout of the machines. Everything conspires to keep you in that altered state where critical thinking is suppressed and impulsive behavior is amplified. This is not gambling. This is behavioral engineering. You're not playing a game. You're inside a system that's been optimized over decades to extract maximum value from human psychology. And the scariest part? It works on everyone. Professionals, educated people, skeptics. Because it's not targeting your intelligence, it's targeting your biology. The slot machine doesn't care who you are, it just waits, patiently, programmed to trigger your reward pathways at precisely calculated intervals. And every time you react the way it expects, every time you spin again after that small win, after that near miss, after that false celebration, you're proving the system works. Let me tell you what happens inside your brain during a slot session. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, starts flooding your system. But here's the key. It's not released when you win. It's released in anticipation of winning. The moment between pressing the button and seeing the result, that's when your brain lights up. Slot machines have been engineered to maximize that anticipation window. The reels spin longer than they need to. They slow down dramatically before stopping. Some even pause before revealing the final symbol. All of this extends the dopamine release. You're getting high on hope, not results. Hope. And because the wins are unpredictable, because you never know when the next one is coming, your brain stays in a constant state of anticipation. This is called variable ratio reinforcement. It's the most powerful form of behavioral conditioning known to psychology. It's the same mechanism that makes social media addictive, the same mechanism that keeps rats pressing levers until they collapse from exhaustion. You are the rat, the slot machine is the lever, and every spin is another press. Now let me be clear about something. I'm not giving you a system to beat slots. That doesn't exist. The math is locked. The house edge is permanent. No strategy changes that. What I'm giving you is awareness. And awareness is the only real defense you have. When you understand the triggers, you see them coming. When you recognize the emotional manipulation, you can resist it. Not every time. These systems are powerful, but enough to regain control, enough to walk away when your brain is screaming at you to stay. This doesn't beat the casino. It stops the casino from beating you blindly. There's a difference. One is fantasy. The other is survival. You need to approach slot machines with the understanding that you are not the customer. You are the product. The machine is designed to extract maximum value from you, not entertain you, not reward you, extract from you. And the moment you forget that, the moment you start believing in hot machines or lucky streaks or patterns in randomness, you've already lost. The only winning move is awareness. Know what's happening. Know why you're feeling what you're feeling. Know that every reaction you have was predicted and programmed for. And when you feel that urge to spin again after a small win, pause. Recognize it. Name it. That's not you wanting to play. That's the conditioning responding exactly as designed. Do you want part 2, where I break down the deeper layers of casino floor psychology and the systems they don't want you to understand? Comment "system" if you're ready. I'll know how many people are serious about this. Everything I just showed you is surface level. The slot machine is just the entry point. Behind it is a network of psychological architecture, data tracking, and player profiling that makes this look simple. The casino knows more about your behavior than you do. They track your patterns, your betting rhythms, your emotional breaking points, and they adjust in real time. Modern casinos use player tracking cards. Every spin you make is recorded, every win, every loss, how long you play, how much you bet, when you leave, when you come back. All of it goes into a database, and that database builds a psychological profile of you. Your weaknesses, your triggers, your breaking point. Then they use that data. They send you offers, free play, comps, rewards, all designed to get you back in the building because they know exactly how much they can extract from you. They've calculated it. You're not a person to them. You're a number, a lifetime value projection, and every message they send, every incentive they offer is engineered to maximize that number. This is only the beginning. The deeper system is even darker, and if you're still here, you're ready to see it.